Welcome, this is Cheating Tales Stories. Tell me where you're watching from. Have you ever been underestimated so badly that it actually worked in your favor? How would you handle it? If someone took advantage of what they thought was your weakness, tell me in the comments below. Call me whatever you want. Liar, fool, survivor. The story's what matters. 2 years ago, I was in a car accident that damaged my optic nerves. The doctors said my vision would never fully recover. I could see blurry shapes, vague outlines. Enough to avoid bumping into furniture, but not enough to read without special magnifiers. Or at least, that's what my wife, Selena, thought. I let her believe I was more helpless than I really was. I didn't correct her when she guided me across the street like I was a fragile old man. I didn't protest when she told friends she was my eyes now. I stayed quiet because I noticed something strange not long after the accident. Selena's voice changed when she spoke on the phone. She'd leave the room more often. I'd hear her giggle, not in the way she laughed with me, but softer, sweeter, intimate. At first, I told myself I was paranoid. After all, my injury had already shaken our marriage. I wasn't working as much, and she was carrying the financial load. Maybe she just needed space. Then one night, she told me she was working late, but I smelled cologne on her jacket. When she got home, not mine, that's when I decided to act. I started small. I bought a voice-activated recorder and placed it in our living room, under the couch. My vision was limited, but my hearing had sharpened. I'd time my errands to accidentally be gone when she thought I'd be home, just to see what she did. A week later, I caught my first real clue, her voice on the recorder, telling someone, "Don't worry. He doesn't see a thing. He barely knows when I'm in the room." I felt my stomach twist. From that moment on, I became an investigator in my own home. I bought small spy cameras and disguised them as air fresheners and picture frames. I learned how to review the footage, using my magnifiers and software that enlarged the images on my laptop. And what I found broke me. Selena wasn't just cheating. She was bringing him to our house. He was a man named Lyle, younger than me, muscular, always wearing expensive sneakers. I watched as they laughed together in our kitchen, cooked food on the stove I'd bought, and sat close, too close, on our couch. Some days they'd leave together. Other days he'd leave just minutes before I came home. The worst part? She treated me with extra kindness during this time. She'd make my tea in the morning, kiss my forehead, and tell me she was grateful I was still here. Every fake smile was a dagger. I kept recording for months. I wanted evidence, not just to confront her, but to make sure she couldn't twist the truth. I documented every date, every visit, every whisper. Then one night, I overheard something that turned my suspicion into rage. On the recorder, she told Lyle she was thinking of divorcing me. She laughed and said, "If I can make him look completely incapable, I'll get the house and everything in it." It wasn't just betrayal, it was strategy. I knew I had to move carefully. If I confronted her too soon, she'd hide her tracks. So I played the role of the clueless, half-blind husband. I asked her to help me read bills, pretended to lose things, even let her choose my clothes so she'd believe I was dependent on her. Meanwhile, I consulted a lawyer. I showed him the recordings, the photos, the dates. He was impressed and angry on my behalf. "She thinks your disability makes you vulnerable," he said. "But this is airtight." The plan was simple: wait for the right moment, when she incriminated herself beyond doubt, and then pull the rug from under her. That moment came on a rainy Thursday. Selena thought I was at a rehabilitation center all day. Instead, I sat in my car around the corner, camera in hand. I recorded Lyle arriving at our home, umbrella in one hand, a grocery bag in the other. Hours later, I filmed them leaving together, laughing, his arm around her waist. I drove straight to my lawyer's office. By the time I walked in, he already had the divorce papers ready. That night, I acted normal. I even asked her how her workday was. She smiled and said, "Exhausting." The next morning, she found the papers on the kitchen table, along with a USB drive. I'll never forget her face as she played the footage. First confusion, then panic. She looked at me, her mouth open, and whispered, "You could see?" I sipped my coffee. "Not everything," I said, "but enough." She tried to cry, to apologize, to explain it was a mistake. But the evidence was overwhelming. She knew it. I knew it. And the court would know it. In the end, I kept the house. She moved out with nothing but her clothes. I've been told by friends I should feel proud, even victorious. But the truth is, there's no joy in catching someone you love destroying your trust. There's only relief that you're finally free. Now I sit in the same kitchen where she once plotted against me, drinking coffee in the morning light. My vision isn't perfect, but I see enough to know I'll never let someone underestimate me again. If you've made it this far, remember, sometimes the weakness people see in you is just the mask you let them believe. And that mask can be the best shield you'll ever have. Subscribe for more stories like this and stay sharp. You never know who's underestimating you.